the Samsung Galaxy A16 has just officially came out, and you might be trying to figure out which one is the better device for you, the Samsung Galaxy A16 or the Samsung Galaxy A13. So let's go and see which one is the better one for you. If you want to pick up either one of these phones in the cheapest prices that I can find, links will be down in the description below. You can get them from there, and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these particular devices, the Samsung Galaxy A13, which came out back in 2022, on the front side of this particular phone is giving you a 6.6-inch PLS LCD panel. Now, the thing you have to remember within this particular device is that this was a little bit of a different type of panel than you probably would have expected. It's not that great. It's 1080p, which is good, but it was only PLS LCD, no high refresh rate here, and it's just not that great of a panel. It's pretty thick bezels compared to something like the Samsung Galaxy A16, which is definitely a bigger upgrade here. This particular phone, you're getting a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display. So this is now giving you an AMOLED display now, which is really nice, and it's also 90 Hz. Same resolution, bigger display, less bezel, and you're getting a 90 Hz panel on that phone. Those are some really good improvements to have, and so that is something like the Samsung Galaxy A16. USB Type-C ports on both, plastic backs, plastic frame, micro SD card slots on both these phones as well, which is another really cool thing. But personally, if I'm looking at both these devices, it is actually very nice to have something like a Samsung Galaxy A16 that's going to be giving you some improvements here, at least in terms of the exterior. Now, on top of that, the Samsung Galaxy A16 is actually giving you IP certification. The A13 did not have it. The A16 has it now, but both these phones are still lacking basically like any wireless charging, which is kind of annoying, but still totally fine for how cheap these phones basically are. In terms of the cameras, the Samsung Galaxy A13 is actually giving you, technically speaking, another camera setup. It's giving you a depth lens, but they're both typically basically the same megapixel count, wide, ultra wide, and macro lens, but the A13 is giving you a depth camera, which really didn't add much. However, both these phones are still only giving you 1080p at 30 frames per second. That is kind of a downside. I feel like there should be some improvement here, even on their A series, maybe 1080p at 60 or 4K at 30. Maybe that'll happen in the next couple of generations, but as of right now, that's kind of what we're stuck with in terms of the cameras. So both these cameras are fairly mid for the most part. They're not really that great, but that's kind of what you'd expect, I would say, from the cheapest Samsung phones that they basically make. On top of that, when it comes down to the software longevity, the Samsung Galaxy A16 is actually said to be having several years of software updates ahead of it. The A13 is probably done, maybe it'll get one more software update, but we're really not even counting on it. The Samsung Galaxy A16 is just getting started, and that type of device has a very high likelihood of lasting for a much longer period of time than we'd probably expect. So I think this in and of itself is another really nice thing going on for that type of device. Performance-wise, you're getting the Exynos 850 chipset with 3, 4, or 6 gigs of RAM instead of the Galaxy A13, whereas on the A16, we're getting the Exynos 1330 chipset or the MediaTek Dimensity 6300 chipset with 4, 6, or 8 gigs of RAM. So depending on which model you get, you'll probably end up getting more RAM inside of something like the Samsung Galaxy A16 than the A13. The Galaxy A13's performance was pretty average, what you'd probably expect. It's not the greatest performing device, and it's definitely going to be giving you some problems and issues here and there, but it is an older type of A series, a base model phone. The Galaxy A16 is definitely surprising because it's a slow performing phone compared to the S24, but it still was actually pretty decent to what you'd probably expect in a lot of ways as well. And both are giving you 5,000 mAh batteries, so I do feel like the better phone here in every single way is something like the Samsung Galaxy A16. It's going to be more of a flagship, and that is the one that I would probably recommend a vast majority of people more so to buy a phone like that than something like the Galaxy A13. And I probably wouldn't recommend the A13 at all, but there are phones like the Galaxy S21 or an S23, even an S22. Those phones in the used market are still around the same price, at least the S21, even the S22 maybe is around the same price as an A16. I'd probably recommend buying one of those devices than something like a Samsung Galaxy A16 in my personal opinion too. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.